What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be hosting an InstaMeet called PortraitMeet that I've actually spent years in the making. But come to think of it, when we had COVID hit in between, I actually paused on hosting PortraitMeets. So now looking back at that, I'm trying to see if hosting InstaMeets are still worth the hype. So why don't we go check it out today? We're going to be visiting Unita in El Segundo and hosting the Los Angeles PortraitMeet, while my friend Steve is hosting the Boston one on the other side of the country today. So stick around, it's going to be an exciting day. Alright folks, I'm currently on 405. I'm about 15 minutes out to our destination. It's about 71 degrees right now in Los Angeles, so it's a beautiful day. Luckily the traffic doesn't look that hectic, but I wanted to take this time to speak to you about what an InstaMeet really is, where it came from, and our past experiences with that. And on top of it, as we're going to be hosting today's PortraitMeet, both in Los Angeles and Boston, we're going to explore the question, are InstaMeets still worth the hype? It's been a while since I hosted an InstaMeet, especially with the pandemic getting in between, so I might be a little rusty, but basically the InstaMeet concept began with Instagram. You know, at the dawn or the early peak of Instagram when it started getting so much popularity, Instagram, the company, before they got acquired by Facebook or Meta, they decided, you know what, everybody's following one another on this platform and seeing the photos they're sharing, but what if we took it one step further? Wouldn't it be great if we actually got them to meet in person? So they came up with this concept called Worldwide InstaMeets, WWIM. And every once in a while throughout the year, Instagram, through their community managers, they would send out these cute InstaMeet kits. They would ship them out to local creators in the region, and they would say, hey, we're gonna be hosting Worldwide InstaMeets, and here's a kit for you if you want to host one. So they would have name tags, they would have cute buttons, balloons, confetti, you name it, and it would all have Instagram branding on them. And sometimes if a community manager of Instagram was nearby, and usually this was in the New York area, they would also tag along. And then you would shoot photos together. You would share best practices, you would observe each other's work. So it was quite engaging and fun. And we've had these for so long. I mean, I attended a ton of these in Boston. I hosted a ton of these in Boston as well. And then when I moved to LA, I hosted a bunch of these here as well. But long story short, COVID got in the way, so I kind of had to put a pause on that. So after all these years since COVID came in, now we're hosting one in conjunction with my friend Steve, who's in Boston, and we're gonna be hosting these at the same time and see how well the attendance is doing there versus how well the attendance is doing in Los Angeles. All right, folks, as we're commuting to Unita in El Segundo, please take the time to go ahead and give a like, subscribe, and comment on this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video. Let me pick you up from here. Let's get out. Okay folks, welcome to Unita. Today, this is where we're going to be hosting the PortraitMeet. The LA PortraitMeet, as our counterparts in Boston will be at the Boston Public Garden. Unita is very special to me because they've been actually hosting a lot of the PortraitMeets. So let's open the doors and then start organizing, and then I'll show you what Unita is. Go downstairs. Let me show you the photo studio at Unita El Segundo. It's really cool. They have all the equipment that you can need. We've got the cyc wall over here. We've got our backdrops over here. We've got our diffusers and reflectors over here. Alright, got my equipment set up, and now I'm ready to see and meet all the new and familiar faces to join PortraitMeet today. InstaMeets have taken the world by storm over the past few years. These gatherings of like-minded creatives were the epitome of Instagram hype, where people came together to explore new places and share the love for photography and content creation. The hype around InstaMeets was real, no doubt about it. The opportunity to connect with fellow creatives, gain followers, and explore your city through a new lens was exhilarating. Now here's the silver lining. While the initial hype may have subsided, the value of InstaMeet still holds. The sense of community and the opportunity to learn and grow together remains unmatched. InstaMeets foster friendships and collaborations that go beyond social media metrics. InstaMeets can also push you out of your comfort zone, encouraging you to explore new places and share stories that might otherwise go untold. In a world where we're often glued to our screens, InstaMeets remind us of the real people behind the Instagram profiles. They offer a break from the digital and a return to the authentic human connection. Okay, Los Angeles, that's it for today's episode. You've attended your first Portrait Meet. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm gonna list everybody's Instagrams. We're gonna tag them on Portrait Meet. Go follow everybody. 50 people who are watching me. Go follow them. All right. And a big shout out to our Boston peeps who did their Portrait Meets. We're gonna include BTS.
Boston is in the house.
We got Boston over here too. Steve, thank you so much for heading the efforts up there. Boston Public Garden, I'm sure looked amazing. So thank you all. I'll see you in the next episode.